In the 1980s, martial arts leapt off the screen and into playgrounds, living rooms, and gyms, shaping how a generation saw discipline, rivalry, and honor. Today, we're counting down the most impactful 80s martial arts movies, films that didn't just entertain, but transformed action cinema itself. And the #1 spot? It redefined an entire generation's idea of discipline and heart. Quick challenge. Which 80s martial arts movie had the single most unforgettable training montage? Drop your pick below and let's see who remembers the classics. Best of the best. Imagine a ragtag American karate team facing Korea's disciplined champions in a fight that's about far more than trophies. Best of the best was different. It wasn't just fists and kicks, it was brotherhood, pride, and the heavy weight of redemption. At the time, martial arts films rarely balanced raw combat with raw emotion, but this movie showed audiences that tears could hit just as hard as punches. Its underdog spirit and finale of respect rather than revenge left fans deeply moved. That's why, decades later, it still holds cult status among martial arts fans. Competition plus compassion. Unforgettable. Mix emotion with action, and your story will outlast the spectacle. Armour of God. Jackie Chan has always been fearless, but Armour of God proved just how far he'd go for authenticity. Midway through filming, a stunt went horribly wrong. Chan fell from a tree, fractured his skull, and nearly died. Most actors would have walked away. Jackie got back up, finished the film, and delivered one of his most adventurous martial arts spectacles. Packed with treasure-hunting thrills and comedic fight choreography, it was Asia's answer to Indiana Jones, with an unmistakable Chan flavor. The movie became a huge hit, cementing his reputation as not just a martial artist, but a daredevil willing to risk it all for fans. One stunt, near death, immortal. When you give everything to your craft, the results can be legendary. American Ninja. What if an American soldier suddenly discovered ancient ninja mastery? That unlikely pitch gave us American Ninja, a film that didn't try to be polished, it just delivered pure 80s fantasy. Michael Dudikoff played Joe Armstrong, the quiet GI whose hidden skills turned him into a warrior wrapped in mystery. It wasn't a critic's darling, but it tapped straight into America's growing obsession with ninjas, fueling comic books, toys, and Halloween costumes. More importantly, it proved that even low-budget, popcorn martial arts films could create lasting cult franchises. Canon Films struck gold with this formula, spawning sequels and cementing the ninja craze of the decade. One soldier, one legend. Lean into the fantasy. Sometimes spectacle matters more than realism. Wheels on Meals. Picture this: 3 martial arts masters running a food truck through the streets of Barcelona. It sounds like comedy, but Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, and Yuen Biao transformed that quirky setup into one of the decade's greatest showcases of skill. Wheels on Meals blended slapstick humor with razor-sharp fight choreography, and the highlight remains Jackie's duel with kickboxing champion Benny the Jet Urquidez. A fight so precise and intense, fans still call it one of the best ever filmed. The movie showed how collaboration between martial arts legends could elevate even the strangest premise into art. Its mix of charm, chaos, and choreography keeps it beloved among fans. 3 stars, 1 classic. Creative partnerships can turn unusual ideas into unforgettable cinema. The Shaolin Temple. Sometimes the most powerful special effect is authenticity itself. Shaolin Temple introduced audiences to Jet Li, a young wushu champion whose speed and precision made him an instant star. What set the film apart was its use of real martial artists performing at actual Shaolin temples, grounding every scene in tradition rather than Hollywood trickery. In China, it ignited a nationwide craze, reviving interest in martial arts schools and fueling pride in cultural heritage. Internationally, it slowly spread through VHS, inspiring a new generation of kung fu practitioners. Jet Li's debut wasn't just a movie. It was a cultural rebirth for kung fu cinema. Real temple, real legend. Staying true to tradition can create a revolution that outlasts trends. We're halfway through the countdown, so here's your challenge. Which 80s martial arts movie would you put at the top of the list? Drop your pick in the comments, and if you're loving this trip back to the dojo, hit that like button to keep the fight going. No retreat, no surrender. A teenager trains under the ghost of Bruce Lee to face bullies and a Soviet martial arts villain. On paper, it sounds absurd, but No Retreat, No Surrender embraced its underdog charm, and audiences loved it. The movie gave Jean-Claude Van Damme his breakout role as a menacing villain, showcasing the athleticism that would soon make him a superstar. Despite its budget limitations and campy execution, it built a passionate cult following. The film proved that sincerity and energy could make even the cheesiest premises unforgettable. Sometimes, imperfection is exactly what makes a movie endure. Low budget, high spirit. Passion and heart can punch harder than polish and production value. Kickboxer. If Bloodsport made Jean-Claude Van Damme famous, Kickboxer made him iconic. This was the film where audiences truly connected with him, not just as a fighter, but as a hero driven by pain and honor. The story followed Kurt Sloan's quest for revenge after his brother was paralyzed by the ruthless Tong Po, a villain so intimidating he became a pop culture nightmare. Training sequences, like Van Damme kicking a tree until his shins bled, became unforgettable 80s imagery. By the time he performed the famous drunken dance scene before demolishing enemies, his place as a global star was sealed. One tree, one star. Career-defining roles come from stories that mix pain with triumph. The Last Dragon. What happens when Motown rhythm collides with kung fu fantasy? The Last Dragon answered with Bruce Leroy, Shonuff, and a neon-soaked New York where martial arts met music videos. At first glance, it seemed like a quirky experiment, but it became a cultural landmark. Shonuff's swaggering villainy made him one of the most quotable martial arts antagonists ever, while Bruce Leroy's journey symbolized empowerment and self-discovery. Blending Black culture, 80s music, and kung fu tradition, it was unlike anything else in the decade. Its cult following still thrives because it dared to mix genres without fear. Kung Fu plus Motown, magic. Bold cultural mashups can create originality that stands the test of time. Bloodsport. Based on a true story, those 4 words sold Bloodsport as something larger than life. In reality, Frank Dux's tales were questionable, but none of that mattered once audiences saw Jean-Claude Van Damme step into the Kumite. The underground tournament setup, with fighters from every style and corner of the world, became a template for decades of martial arts storytelling. From the slow-motion split kicks to Bolo Yeung's menacing Chong Li, every moment screamed 80s martial arts glory. Most importantly, it proved that a small-budget martial arts film could achieve global success and inspire everything from Mortal Kombat to the rise of MMA fandom. Fake tale, real influence. A great myth can shape culture more powerfully than fact. The Karate Kid. Wax on, wax off. Few phrases from the 80s carry as much weight. The Karate Kid wasn't just another martial arts movie, it was a cultural phenomenon. Daniel LaRusso's journey from bullied outsider to crane kick champion resonated with kids worldwide. Mr. Miyagi became an instant icon of mentorship, teaching that discipline and patience could triumph over arrogance and cruelty. Unlike the bloody tournament films, this story put heart at the center of martial arts, sparking a boom in karate dojos across America. Its legacy endures decades later, revived by Cobra Kai, proving the power of simple lessons told with sincerity. Simple lesson, endless legacy. Authentic mentorship leaves a legacy no villain can erase. From underground tournaments to crane kicks on the beach, the 80s gave us martial arts movies that still echo decades later. These films didn't just entertain, they inspired countless fans to step onto the mat, chase discipline, and believe in something bigger than themselves. And that spirit still lives on today, in every dojo, every training hall, and every movie that dares to put honor and heart above spectacle. So if you're ready for more epic countdowns, stick around, because the fight continues. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss it.